Meet this incredible man named Rick Dietrich, and he's 71. Yes, you heard right, exactly 71 years old. But when you look at him, it feels like time is going slower for him. A toned body, energy, a clear look, activity, discipline, and the most interesting thing is that there is no magic, super genetics, or secret pills behind it. His lifestyle is based on several principles that are accessible to almost everyone. And today we will look at why these habits have such a strong effect on youth, health, and life expectancy. Some of them may seem simple, but it's the simple things that often give the most powerful results if you do them for years. Watch this video to the end. It will be very interesting and useful. So, let's get started. First, Rick doesn't live by the "it's too late for me" scenario. And this is critically important. Most people begin to age psychologically much earlier than physically. They stop moving actively, stop trying new things, and start treating their bodies like they're already worn out. But the brain directly affects the physiology. When a person constantly tells himself, "I'm old," the body begins to work in economy mode. The level of activity decreases, the hormonal background worsens, and the motivation to move decreases. Rick accepts his age, but doesn't make it an excuse. And that's a huge difference. Accepting age is not a surrender. It is the ability to understand the capabilities of your body and work with them, not against them. A very important point is that he consistently trains at the gym. Not sometimes, not in the mood, but stable. And it is stability, not extreme stress, that most often determines a person's biological age. After the age of 40, a person begins to gradually lose muscle mass. This process is called sarcopenia. And if you don't train your muscles, your body starts to weaken literally every year. Muscles are not just about appearance. They regulate metabolism, insulin sensitivity, energy levels, and even brain health. The fewer muscles there are, the faster the body ages. One of the most underrated things is recovery. And this is where most people make a mistake. They believe that health is created only by training, but the body rejuvenates, not at the moment of exertion, but at the moment of recovery after it. Rick understands this. If a person constantly lacks sleep, lives in stress, and does not allow the body to recover, even good sports can begin to accelerate the wear and tear of the body. Sleep is not a rest for the lazy. This is a biological repair. It is at night that tissues are restored, hormones are regulated, and the brain is cleansed of metabolic products. Chronic lack of sleep accelerates skin aging, impairs memory, and increases inflammation in the body. Another important principle of Rick is that he eats at home and does it in a balanced way. And here lies a huge secret of longevity. People often look for superfoods, trendy diets, and expensive supplements, but they also eat ultra-processed food every day. The body ages not only from age, but also from constant inflammation. And one of the main causes of chronic inflammation is nutrition. When a person constantly eats sugar, fast food, excess trans fats, and processed foods, the body literally begins to work in crash mode. Another important detail is that Rick trains in clothes made of breathable materials. At first glance, it seems like a small thing, but in fact, such habits show a person's attitude to their body. When the body overheats during exercise, comfort deteriorates, and the load on the cardiovascular system increases. Breathable clothing helps maintain normal thermoregulation and reduces stress on the body. This is especially important with age, when the body is already worse at coping with overheating. But there is also a deeper meaning here. People who take care of the details usually keep their overall health longer. They are attentive to the body's signals. We should also talk about positive thinking. This topic is usually presented too corny. Think positively and everything will be fine. But in reality, the meaning is deeper. Chronic negativity is a constant stress on the nervous system. When a person lives in anxiety, irritation, and internal tension, the body constantly releases stress hormones. And chronic high cortisol accelerates aging, impairs sleep quality, destroys muscles, and increases inflammation. Positive thinking is not about ignoring problems. It is the ability not to live in a state of constant internal warfare. There is another thing that many underestimate. The regularity of habits is more important than their perfection. Most people live in a cycle: motivation, sudden start, overload, burnout, rollback. But longevity is created not by extreme jerks, but by a calm system. Rick doesn't try to change his body in a month. He's just been doing the right thing for years. It is the years that create the result that looks like the secret of youth. If you look at Rick's lifestyle, it becomes obvious that there is no magic. There is movement, recovery, nutrition, respect for your body, and healthy psychology. And the good news is that you can start at almost any age. The body is able to recover much better than many people think. Even if a person is 50, 60, or 70 years old, the body is still capable of becoming stronger, more resilient, and more energetic. The most dangerous thing is not age. The most dangerous thing is to stop using your body, because the body adapts to the way we live. If a person does not move much, the body begins to save resources and weaken. If a person moves regularly, trains muscles, monitors nutrition, and recovers, the body begins to maintain a higher level of function even in old age. And perhaps the main conclusion from Rick's story is that youth cannot be preserved by habit alone. It's always a system. It is impossible to compensate for poor sleep with sports. It's impossible to compensate for a terrible diet with vitamins. It is impossible to feel young if you constantly live under stress and hate your own age. True longevity is built from a multitude of small decisions that a person makes every day. So instead of looking for a magic pill, it's better to ask yourself a simple question. What habits are making me stronger right now? Friends, what do you think of this man? Write your opinion in the comments. If this video was useful to you, then please like it and share the link with those who might find it particularly useful. We also recommend watching this video that's currently appearing on your screen.